Good afternoon, everyone. Jason here. Today is February 15th, and this is your aftermarket update. So we ended up having a really nice day here at the Oil Trading Group. I had two trades today on the CL, one with a small stop, and then one that we ran for a fairly sizable target. Today we'll talk about that, and I'll show you the video here in just a few moments. Here's why we got into the trade today. We did a lot of sitting and waiting during this trading session today. It was the crude oil inventory report Wednesday. Also, you had Janet Yellen speaking today as well. And so there really was not a lot of activity right after the open. As we talked about, you do get one little move before that inventory report, and that was this little move right here from the basically from the structure mid here at 99.00 up into that daily structure signal. The bottom line here, though, is today we waited until after that inventory report to get into a couple of different positions. My first trade that I took was a stop out. Then we immediately regrouped, and I looked to get short right up here at this daily structure target at 40. We were looking to target down here around the structure mid, right around 0001. And that was what our initial look at a target was going to be today. So my stop was 52. So when you see the video, I'm going to tell you my stop is 51, but if you watch real close, right after we transition into the speed up of the tape, you'll see me move it back one tick to 52, and I'll show you why I did that here in just a few minutes. But it ended up being a very nice trade here as we did rotate around and we came all the way down into this level down here at 99. So let's talk about why we moved that stop back, why we were looking to get into that position. So we had a decision point right here at this 40 level, and you can see when we got in, there was a little bit of grief. We put up with these are 3-minute bars, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 20 minutes worth of rotation around that area. That's really graphically represented in terms of the volume that's in this area. So what I've done, this is just a screenshot of the book map, and I marked it up, and I only am showing you orders where there are 75 or more at a particular level. So 75 orders or more at a specific level. So you could see as we were heading into this 40 area, that was one of our decision points. That's this level right here, this daily structure target. As we were coming into that decision point, you could see that the volume was stacking up in that area, right? So that felt like that was a pretty good place to get short. And my stop was originally 51, but then I quickly noticed that we had that big band of liquidity right up there at 51. So I put the stop right here at 52. Market comes into 40, rotates around, comes right up into that band of liquidity at 51 before it begins this process of selling off. Now, one of the things that we talked about, and you'll hear it right at the beginning of the video, I talked about a target of around 01 and 00. I thought we might be able to stretch this out as we got into the trade. I thought we might be able to stretch this out a little deeper down into the 61 area. So I was really looking for a big target down around 61. But you see that we came down in here. We ran into this, right into this area. There was a pool of liquidity that we just ultimately could not get down through. Market rotates up and pulls back, and I get stopped out on a trail stop at 04. So I'm in at 40, down to 04. That's 36 ticks, and we had a 12-tick stop. That's exactly 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio, and that's where we get pulled out there on that particular trade. So I took a small losing trade at the beginning of the day. That trade lasted about 7 minutes. This winning trade lasted 43 minutes. So again, one of those where we cutting the losers short, letting the winners run. And we carried this all the way down to a trail stop here at 04. So again, one more area of why we were looking at this. Again, one of the things that we talk about in here on a fairly consistent basis is that the higher low for the week gets made on a Monday or Tuesday. In this particular week, it's been made on Monday. We had a low here on Tuesday that was broken today. And so if you measure this recent swing down to today's low, we came right up into the 78.6 retracement area. And that was right there at the 50-51 area. That was right up here where your volume was. And of course, that's right in this 40 area where we had a resistance point. So all of those ideas conspired together to get me short. And with we waited about 25 minutes before we had that breakout to the downside. And then, of course, once you get down into that area, We hit down here into the high 80s, low 90s, found some resistance, and then I took my stop back to just about where the original target that you hear me talk about in the video was. So again, this trade was about 43 minutes long. So what I've done is I'm going to let you watch the very first part of it. Then I'm going to speed it up, cut it down. The whole thing, I think I got it into just under 4 minutes, so you could see the entire front half of the trade, and then you could see the back half of the trade as well. And so you could kind of get a feel for just how price action was rotational around there. But again, a really nice trade today. More on that asymmetrical returns. It's the thing that we try to do in here. We have the tools to help you do that, and we go and try to hit those targets, those deeper targets. So I'm going to let you watch that trade of the day. So without further ado, here is the OTG trade of the day. Actually, 40 is where I'm in, is where I get ended up chasing it, got filled there. My stop here is 51, and the target now would be down underneath you again around that 01. So All right, so again, you can see that trade, once it finally started moving, really broke hard to the downside. And even though it didn't quite go to that final big picture target that we were looking for, it did make a very good 3-to-1 risk reward ratio and ended us up on a very good way to finalize our trading day. So again, as always, I want to say thank you for watching the videos here at the Oil Trading Group. And until next time, I want to wish you good luck and good trading.